My name is Dennis Felton, and this is my chapter presentation on Chapter 3, which covers Beyond the Civil Service and the Politics of the Emerging Paradigms. And so, one of the things that the author starts to talk about in the beginning of the chapter is the current economic conditions that are facing our nation. And one of the key components is the increase in public distrust, which means that basically the public perception of the government is that the government cannot be trusted and the government needs to be reduced and smaller. And also an increase in government by proxy, which basically means that the government is going out seeking third-party contractors to save money as far as expenditures on labor. And also high employment rates. There are a lot of individuals out here with education that are highly qualified that are unemployed due to the limited of jobs that are available in the country, and ultimately want to reduce the size of the government. So by the numbers, looking at the end of 2009, we had about 13 million American citizens who were unemployed, which had an increase in public entitlement, also increase in programs such as food stamps, housing and urban development, and unemployment. And which also has an increase in the demand of public goods and services. So if we have more individuals who are unemployed, then we're going to have more individuals who are dependent on these entitlement programs to help them meet the basic needs of and the basic essentials of life. And so some resolutions put on the table are the increase in efficiencies and performance in the public human resource management, an increase in public trust, and a decrease in the size of the government. And then the chapter goes and it talks about the evolution of public human resource management. And it starts off in the patrician era, which moves into the patronage era, which moves into the performance era, which moves into the partnerships era, which includes the pragmatic era. And as each era develops, the perspective of human resource management is changing as well as the roles. And so it starts off basically where it's governed by the elites. It's about who do you know, what political party are you affiliated with. And as we move on into the more diverse and reform system of human resource management, we look more into, managers and supervisors and those individuals who have the skills and the qualifications to get the job done. And so the chapter goes to the extent to talk about the responsibilities of the government, and it breaks it down by political leaders, human resource personnel directors, and then human resource specialists, and then it trickles down to the management and supervisors. And so then the chapter mentions the Pendleton Act and the U.S. Civil Service Commission, along with the U.S. Merit System Protection Board and the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. All of these statutes and legislation is basically protecting the rights and ensuring social equity amongst these public organizations. I previously mentioned about earlier in the eras in which it was a lot of political influence and a lot of monetary influences which influence your role and your responsibility as a public official. And so we talked about the responsibilities of political leaders, which is approving personnel systems and establishing objectives and allocating funds. The personnel directors and specialists are basically responsible and charged with the designing and implementation of personnel systems and achieving agency goals. And then we move into the managers and supervisors who are more ground level, and they're responsible for the implementation of the rules, the policies, and the procedures. And then so we think about the benefits of the public human resource management evolution. And so we think about individual rights, we think about job security, accountability, ethics, transparency, administrative power, and compliance. The effects that the public human resource management has on traditional values and systems is diminishing employee rights and less benefits and lower pay, the decrease in public interest, as well as threats on social equity. And so when we start looking at perspectives of public human resource management, we're thinking about the functions to manage human resource in public agencies. We're thinking about the process in which scarce resources allocated, and the influences that the elite eight competing values on how public jobs should be allocated. So in conclusive, we think about the administrative role and public human resources has been key to the growth and evolution of the public resource management sector. And human resource management involves the recruiting and retention of employees, employee satisfaction, employee evaluation, and employee equity, just to name a few. And we started talking about the components and how they are beneficial and influential in organizational structure, organizational behavior, and the efficiency and effectiveness of the organization. To overcome the lack of confidence in the public service and the perception of public distrust in the civil service system, the human resource sector must continue to evolve with the emerging advances in technology, science, and skills, and therefore the role of the public resource manager will continue to evolve, and the demands and expectations and perception of the public will change as the role changes. Thank you.